Okay, for those who haven't been on a river before or boot camp, this is kind of like a boot camp. It's 3-day retreat where we actually talk, where we really go deep down into the heart of a man, okay, through Christ. And this is like a 1-day boot camp. So it's like a shotgun. I'm going to shoot through the shotgun. Second talk is probably the most difficult talk of all the entire series of the Wild at Heart series. And it's the wound and the healing of the wound. And the reason why that is because you can't get healed unless you go to the wound. Sometimes to get to that wound, you have to cut it open. As you know, if you ever get blood, if anyone's ever had blood poison or any kind of deep cuts, they have to sever it. It's very painful. So it's very painful at first. But God loves us so much that He won't let us fester. And if we do fester, what usually happens is you end up going to the counterfeit. The counterfeit could be addiction. Anything from alcohol, drugs, other intimate stuff, things like that. So the person who is going to talk to us about the wound, the healing wound, is Milad. He's a great guy. We love him. He's from Southwestern Band of Brothers. He's a father, a loving husband, a man of God, and a successful business person. And he has, I've heard part of the story, and it's a pretty deep wound. So guys, open your hearts and see how God can transform you, man. Milad?
Thank you. This is my third or fourth time responding. So I grew up in Lebanon. When I was 12 years old, I walked to a neighborhood variety store to get a chocolate bar. The store owner was an older man in the 50s, and he said he had something for me in the back. When I went to the back, he intimately abused me. It was horrible, feeling lost, confused, shame. About a year later, I became a child soldier. In all my teens years, I got in trouble with the law. I started drinking in the teens, dropped out of school at age 15, and then left the country, which was Lebanon. And in a new country was West Africa. Started to heavy drinking and other things that goes with that. By age 19, got a messed up life. Got drunk one night, passed out. My friend took me to his place, not to take me home in that condition. So all I remember is I woke up. I woke up on my back. It was still dark, and somehow it's on either a balcony or a front porch. It's warm, and I see the stars. I don't know what came to me. Whether now that's my experience. I don't know if it's a dream. I think it's real. I've lived it for all these years, and I say if there's a God, I'm gonna be in big trouble. So the next day. Next day I wanted to search God, so I started reading. My background is Catholic, so the first thing is read the Bible. I used to think the Bible is the New Testament is the Bible, the Old Testament is for the Jews, and the Quran is for the Muslims. These are the three major religions in where I come from. So I read all three books. When I got to the New Testament, I found Jesus. His words like he's speaking to me, real, they're live. And so that was October 21st, 1994. I stopped drinking instantly and everything else that came with it. At 8 o'clock, I would go to my bedroom, and the family thought I became crazy or some sort of fanatic or something. The guys would look for me. Oh, he's not available. He's in his room. And I'd be reading my Bible. And just that experience is I would read the 4 Gospels, and then when I get to Acts, I don't want to know anything about everybody else. I go back to Matthew. So that's what I thought. This is the Bible is where Jesus speaks. So obviously we learn a lot more about the Protestant church through all the books of the Bible. Um, so, and then a few years ago, probably 2000, I don't know, 14 or 15, I was invited to the Band of Brothers. Carlos invited me to a conference call at that time. Yes, we used to listen to, not seeing who speaks, just listen to who speaks. And then I was invited by somebody else, but I took the invitation and I showed up that time. And hearing the stories, like, took me, I think, about three boot camps. I didn't want to share this story with anybody. I didn't want to visit the wound again. It was so painful. But I believe that, listen to the lies that life is cruel, that I'm on my own. I believe the lies that I cannot trust anyone. But the reality is I am loved. I'm a son. I am blessed. And now married for 33 years. 4 children, one in heaven. 2 granddaughters, 7 and 9. God used the Band of Brothers to prepare my heart to forgive the man. And for 40 years, at that time, it was about 5 years ago, I was living, having kept this thing, and it was, I didn't know it was eating me up, but you can't believe the freedom. It won't, now I'm telling the story, it won't even, I don't even remember, it just, the healing is real. Yeah, so that was my first time after a few boot camps where I shared what happened to me with Paul. Most of you know Paul. And then I had the, Carlos and Leo and Tim and other band that helped me through this. And so that's it. Thank you.
Hey, come here.